Yeah, well, obviously, recruiting is they're the players on your roster, right? So you have to recruit good players. You can't have a bad roster, right? You're not going to be worth a crap as a coach with a bad roster. What I meant by saying recruiting is dead, retention is alive, is, when you're talking recruiting rankings, you're usually talking one or two player difference takes you from seventh to second, or from first to seventh, right? You're talking these small factors. And what my deal is what actually I believe is going to take you those factors, because your roster has to be good, is the retention of those players. So what I meant was not that we're not going to recruit. We're going to recruit. It's everything. But it's that retaining the guys you recruit and not losing two of your top guys in the first 2 years is the real value in that process. It obviously is way different with rev share now. There's so many ways to, get players on your team. I think that's the biggest difference, is there's so many different ways to get players on your team, and there's so many different ways in order to build a team now. Before, the only way to build a team was you sign high school kids. If you thought somebody was really good and you missed them, you have to play them, and that sucks. Now, you may never have to play him. He may be a freshman. He may have been lied to at that school to get him there. He may not receive that money, and he may be in the portal. And he may play for you, even though you lost him in the recruiting rankings. So I think there's so many different ways to obtain players now that you still have to sign high school. You still have to sign guys that can build your culture. But there's so many different strategies. I think that's the biggest difference. So I don't want to get too much into our strategy. I know that's going to be your follow-up question. I don't want to get too much into our strategy behind that, but we definitely have a plan that I believe in, and whether it works or not, who knows? But it's what I believe in is necessary in this era.
I think it is known that you have a policy that if commits want to visit elsewhere, that they're not going to remain part of your class. And does that help you weed out the types of people that you think that might not fit your culture?
Yeah, I'm just old school. Even though I'm a young guy, I'm old school in nature. I believe if I tell somebody something, I'm going to do it, and I think the same's in return. And that's just what I believe in to my core. And I want guys who truly want to be here. I don't want guys who are deciding if they want to be here yet. If you're committed to us, you're committed to us, and I'm committed to you, and we're going to do this thing, and I'm going to pour into you and give you everything I got, and I expect the same return. And if you're not ready to commit to us, don't commit to us. I'm fine with that. It doesn't matter to me, but I definitely believe in the word commitment and what that means. But I do understand. I started dating my wife at 17, and we've been together, so I do understand. I may lay on a different side of this than some other people, so yeah, I just believe in that process.
Michelle Gardner, Arizona Republic. Kenny, can you talk about the development of the tight end room? When you first got here, I think it was not a lot of talent there, and it was the biggest question mark, and now it's one of your biggest strengths, it looks like.
Yeah, I think when we first got here, I don't want to say that we didn't have talent. I thought we did. Messiah's still with the Packers, Jalen Conyers is on a roster right now. Bryce, I thought was a good player for us. So I thought we had some pieces there. I definitely think Coach Munz has done an unbelievable job getting that room, the type of guy that we want in that room from a skill set perspective. How we use our tight end, the versatility of their tight ends. Instead of having a lot of guys that maybe had a specialty, I think we have jacks of all trades, which I think that's what you want at that position. I like to say that position's like the Draymond Green. If you get a really good one, they can play power forward, they can guard a center, then they can bring the ball up if needed. I think a good tight end in today's day and age can put his hand in the dirt and block a defensive end and flex out and win a one-on-one in space versus a linebacker. So I think that position, to me, I love the direction it's headed because it's versatile. And it's not guys who are really good at one thing. It's guys that are really good at multiple things, which is, I think, how you can become versatile on offense.
Blake in the back.
Hey, Kenny, Blake Neiman, Fox 10. What are you most hoping to get out of fall camp this year? What areas are you really focusing on?
Toughness. I want our guys to play the game with passion, toughness, and physicality. You know, everybody's talking about, you know, we got players, we got some good players this year, and we do. But at the end of the day, football is this very simple game. You have to beat the crap out of the person in front of you physically. It's not rocket science. If you move somebody 2 yards, we're going to gain yards. If they move you back, the odds are we are not going to gain yards. You have to make special plays all day. So at the end of the day, I want our team to double down on physicality, double down on toughness. I want to see that toughness throughout practice. And, you know, spring ball, we definitely manage guys in a way with all the returners. We'll do that a little bit in fall camp. You know, we got a lot of vets, so you got to treat the vets right. But we still, football is, like I said, it's a very simple game. If you don't turn the ball over and you whoop the person's butt in front of you, you're going to win a lot of games. A lot of games. Then you add a quarterback and you add some pieces to that and add talent. That's when you can win a ton of games, right? But the nature of it is the same. You got to whoop the person's butt in front of you.
Coach, hi, Mike Wilson, Sports Byline Radio. You guys are the defending champs in a very tough league. Can you just speak to how just tough this is going to be to kind of go back to back with the titles? Because you got Texas Tech that's coming, you know, you got Kansas State, you guys. I mean, Utah, you don't expect Utah to do what they did last year, but just speak to the overall toughness of the league.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about the championship or any of that stuff. That's a moot point to me. But this league is super competitive. I mean, you alluded to it. You have Texas Tech, who, I mean, they have more guys, you know, that could be drafted than arguably any team in the country right now, according to some of these sites. They put together an unbelievable team. You have Utah, who's always really good on defense. Now they have a really good quarterback that's there. They have consistency at that position. You have Baylor. I mean, the list goes on. There's a reason there's only a 3.5 win total difference between last place and first place in this league. And that tells you how competitive this league is every single week you can lose, and every single week you can win. And that's why us picked last, won it all last year, is because we won close games. And us picked at the top could lose all those close games this year and be at the bottom. I mean, that's the name of the game. Who wins the close games in this league? Who's poised in those moments? And that's the challenge. And then who can keep leads? The one thing that we did a really good job of last year, contrary to, you know, what some people believe, we didn't lose leads. We lost leads, but we didn't lose the games in those games. They may not like how we did it or all the things behind it, but when we had a lead, we didn't lose. Right, wrong, or indifferent. We got to continue that. When we get leads in games, we have to win those games. We win them cute, we win them ugly, we win them big, we win them small. Really don't care. We need to win them. And then on games that we get behind early, we've got to be able to get back in it and make it a game and sneak some of those out. And I think that's the nature of this league, is winning those tight games.
Jake in the back. All right, Elliot.
Elliot Algobai, Sports 360 AZ. How you doing, Coach?
Good.
Obviously, Camp T coming up. What excites you most about seeing the guys get to mesh off the field a little bit, and then any new traditions maybe, Coach?
No new traditions. I mean, we do a time capsule thing that we started a few years ago where our guys write a letter to themselves. We bury it when we climb the mountain, so they get to, you know, read their letter that they wrote last year to themselves this year, which I think will be pretty cool. So we started that, you know, when I got here. So this will be the second year that they've gotten to read their letters. So it'll be interesting to see what, you know, some of the guys wrote going into last season for expectations for the team, for themselves, what they wanted, you know, when they were reading the letter now, what do they want to have accomplished, and did they achieve those goals? And my goal is that they didn't. I hope they read those letters, and there's something in that letter that they didn't achieve. Because at the end of the day, you know, your goals should be so high, they should be laughable. So hopefully there's some goals in those letters from last year that they didn't achieve, that we can continue to strive for. And then what I'm looking for the guys that come together. You know, I'm about to have a team meeting, and one of the things we're going to talk about is like the goals of the team, and one of the goals is going to be create memories and relationships that last forever. Like that should be a goal of every single season, is you should leave that season with memories and relationships that last forever. And if you can create those, you know, there's going to be good and there's going to be bad. Right? That's part of it. But if you can leave every season with relationships and memories that you'll remember for the rest of your life, I think that's part of a successful season.
Staying in the back, Jake.
Hi, Coach. Jake Garcia with 12 News. I know you said that, you know, you're not concerned about talking about championships going back to back. What does a successful season look like from a process standpoint? And do you feel like that's been fine-tuned even compared to last year?
Yeah, I think a successful season is playing our best football. Just playing our best football. A successful season is just continuing the brand of football we want to play, which is people know that we're going to be a physical football team, and we're going to play passionate, and we're going to play physical. Like that brand continuing on, that you can feel the passion when you watch us on TV. I say all the time, like when somebody describes us, what do you want it to be? How do you want somebody to describe us? Cute? Is that how you want it? Like that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of teams win, in a cute manner. Or do you want to be described as a dude who strap it up? And to me, I want our football team to be described as that. And then I said I want our guys to have relationships and moments that will last a lifetime. And I want them to have more fun working harder than anybody in the country. I want them to love and enjoy the season. I think if we can leave the season being the very best version of us every single day, we can leave the season being a physically tough football team that plays with a passion, that has a lot of fun doing it, more than anybody in the country, and combine that with moments that were created, I think that's a successful football season. I think all of that together, we'll wake up one day and be like, holy cow, right? I don't know where we'll be if we're missing one of those pieces.
Hey, Kenny, Damon Allred, Arizona Sports. A lot was made last year about the leash on Sam and with him not even being a focal point of the offense with Scat. This season, obviously, he is the focal point of the offense, and he looks more comfortable as a starter. What does an unleashed Sam look like in Arroyo's offense, and how much of what he does is the types of things that NFL scouts will look at and say, I'm glad that he was doing that at ASU?
Yeah, well, last year, the leash 100% came off. In my opinion, we actually hindered him last year more than helped him in a lot of ways. We said, hey, go fix it on 3rd and long. Go fix it on 2nd and long, which is very tough for a quarterback. So I think what you saw from Sam last year is somebody who had to fix a lot of problems in bad situations. And he did an unbelievable job of us giving him a bad scenario and fixing it. This year, I hope, and we will, put him in more positions to be successful on early downs, which will actually allow him to stay in rhythm, allow him to be a better quarterback on those long yardage situations as well. What he does well that translates, he prepares, super intelligent. He throws the deep ball extremely well. He's the best player on game day. He's a better player on game day than he is practice player, and he's a hell of a practice player, but when game day hits, he's so prepared for what he's about to see that it translates. He's super intelligent, like I said. He's mobile enough to get you out of problems. He can make awkward throws, which is what people want to see, is off-platform throws. So, in my opinion, I think this is going to be an unbelievable year for him. I'm really fired up. He's put in a lot of work. He's in the best shape of his life. His leadership is getting to another level. People see the passion he has in him, but he's learning how to lead at a higher rate. Very similar to Bo's transition from Auburn to Oregon. I can Bo had a little transition from a leadership standpoint. I can feel that in Sam. So I think he checks a ton of boxes for NFL teams, and I'm just blessed that he's on our football team.
Hey, Kenny, Jacob Brooks, Sun Devil Source. You talked on the importance of that mentality where you're staying grounded and you're kind of goal-oriented with your tradition at Camp T. I was wondering, with guys like Sam and Jordan who have this national spotlight and there's pressure and expectations being put on them, how have you seen them stay grounded?
Yeah, well, I think, I say it like to them, like, you're going to let somebody else's expectation of you be the biggest expectation. Like, that would be a red flag. If I were to meet with them and what I'm hearing from the media is a bigger expectation than what they're telling me they want to achieve, all right, I better meet with them daily and make sure that they understand it's okay. You don't have to achieve it. But when you have guys whose aspirations and goals are far beyond what anybody could write or what anybody could say, then does it really matter? Because your goals are bigger than what they're saying. And I think that's what you want in a football team. You want people's goals to be almost unachievable. You want it to be laughable. You want them to people think you're a little crazy. Last year our guys said some things at times, and people were like, "Oh, it'd become a controversy." And what do you want them to say that? Do you not? I want our guys to have confidence in going to play the game and playing the game aggressive and free. So I haven't really had to meet with them about it. It really doesn't matter because their goals are so high for themselves. And we're going to keep the main thing, and that's getting better every single day. And if you continue to do that, the better you get, the bigger your goals should be.
Coach Michael Caratino, Pitch Fork Lunch. Speaking, I mean, obviously being physical, guys coming back, but defensively, I mean, a lot of guys coming back, and through spring, it looks like, I mean, install went, not that it wasn't smooth, but I mean, they know what Coach Ward wants. What do you see, how do you see the defense growing? And I mean, I hate using the word easy, but making it a lot easier for Coach Ward to call the defense with what you have coming back.
Yeah, I mean, you look back at who we are. We're a 3-week match man team to the boundary. Like, everybody knows that. Every football team we face knows that. It's 50% of our base down snaps. And you look at the Texas game, the last game we played, and you look back, and we played our best football when we just played what we do. And our guys came to the sideline and said, keep calling it. Keep calling it. Keep calling it. Because they had so much confidence. So I think just because you're back doesn't mean you need to change or get cute. I think you have to double down on what you're good at, and then you have to add wrinkles. So can we disguise things better? Do we know how much we can disguise things? Do we know how much we can't disguise things? Are there tweaks schematically that we need to make as a staff based off of our skill set coming back? Do we need to play more man coverage? So what do I expect? I expect a veteran group of guys that are going to play passionately. At the end of the day, if a 3 technique spikes the wrong way and there's going to be a huge run, and the backside corner sprints, and Javen Robinson makes a play 40 yards down the field and tackles him, okay, and then they go for a 4th down and we stop them, nobody's going to talk about the 3 technique spiking the wrong way. They only talk about the 3 technique spiking the wrong way if our corner doesn't sprint his butt off and make the play. So what do I expect? I expect extreme effort and extreme physicality out of our defense. We have enough talent that the talent will take care of itself. It's the effort and the physicality from that defense that I'm looking forward to.
Hey, Coach. Justin Lesser-Toast, Devil's Digest. Can you just speak to the impact that Joe Connolly has over the course of a long off-season like this, helping players reach physical milestones and maybe individualizing just training regimens as a whole to get ready for the season?
Yeah, I think Joe's one of the best in the business. I mean, when I first got here, obviously you want to start over for the most part, right? And your strength coach is one of the most vital pieces when you're starting over. That's the guy who helps create the culture. So I reached out to some people about who we were going to hire, and I'm like, well, we got to hire somebody new, right? You can't keep the people that are here because you got to have a new identity. And when, 2 of the 3 guys, their top name was Joe, and I'm like, well, crap, he's already here, right? And then I met with him. I'm like, yeah, this is a no-brainer. And he's so good at balancing the work with the science. Sometimes you get guys that are all about the work and there's not much science. Just run your head through the wall and keep running. And there's other guys that are all about the science, but they don't have the motivation, right? I think Joe's phenomenal at balancing both. He's super intelligent. He understands the science that goes into it, but he also is a really, really good motivator. He understands people. He's relationship driven. He holds a standard, and his entire team holds a standard. Going out there and watching them work out, you don't see a slip in the standard of the program. And I think that's the stuff that behind the scenes happens. That's really the backbone. And you can see guys, Keyshawn Elliott's a mile per hour faster. Clayton's 20 pounds heavier and a mile per hour faster. Jordan Tyson's almost a mile per hour faster, I want to say, and 10 pounds heavier. So the growth was there. The work was there. So I'm just excited to see, it all put together.
Doug Franz Unplugged podcast. As a native, how do you wear a sweatshirt in July?
Well, it's short sleeve, right? And I'm inside. Oh. And I don't put, how do you wear it inside? You don't go outside. Okay. So it's pretty simple. But I have to wear something with a hood so I get my neck protected. So you'll see this one. The reason I wear this one out on the field is it pops up. Oh. The dry fit fold down, and then my neck gets exposed. So this is my way to protect my neck. I'm a little hotter, but it's okay.
Strategy.
Yeah, there's a plan.
Number 2, you mentioned earlier, you never know. You could lose close games, and about the poise that you have to win close games. How do you coach poise?
Hard. I think it's something they got to believe in each other. I think in the biggest moments, the closest teams win. The teams that know each other's names, the team who knows the guy next to him deepest and darkest secret, right? I think it comes down to those relationships when you can look at somebody and be like, let's do this, and you have so much confidence that guy next to you is not going to let you down, that guy next to you is going to make the play. So I think in the biggest moments, it's the relationships that take the lead. And the calmness of you in a huddle or you looking at 11 other guys and you're like, oh, yeah, like, I don't know who's going to let us down. None of these guys. And that confidence when you take the field and that confidence when you hear the voices of the guys that you have really, really strong bonds with. So I think hopefully we've continued to build those bonds, which I think we have, and double down on those bonds. But I think that's what wins close games.
And you mentioned Bo Nix. I read an article that Sean Payton was even impressed that Bo on his own contacted Drew Brees and spent a week learning about from the guy that knows that, Sean Payton, offense better than anybody. Did you know about that? Did you and Bo talk about that? And can you compare kind of Sam and Bo and maybe having NFL scouts not quite sure about Bo and how they might feel about Sam? Just any comparison between the two.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know about that, but that sounds like Bo. I mean, all day long, that's Bo. In terms of Sam and Bo, there's a lot of comparisons, to be honest. They're both great kids off the field. They're both plus athletes. They could both probably play safety, at a high level in college. If not, get on a team in the NFL at safety or at a defensive back position. One that was physical. They're both physical kids. They're both super hard studiers. They love to know the game and they want control. They don't want to give up control. They want the control of the game. And that's not even including, like, the ability to throw the ball. I know everybody thought Bo couldn't throw it deep, but he's really good at throwing the deep ball. Sam's really good at throwing the deep ball. And then they both were kind of wild cards earlier in their career in terms of they played off platform all the time. And I think that's the progression of Sam is, okay, you're going to play those off platform plays. Now, can you be the guy that Bo was at the end of his career, which is a 75% completion percentage guy? Can you be a guy that makes early down completions? Can you make a team say, oh, crap, if I blitz this guy, he's going to throw the stick route to replace it, and it's going to go for 11? That's the next evolution, and Bo had that evolution when he was at Oregon. Weeks really 4, 5, 6 is when the BYU game was really started to throw you back. And I hope Sam this offseason has really progressed in that. That's his next step, being a year 2 starter, is that early down passing and being able to almost punish people that try to pressure him based off of his film study and, footwork changes and stuff like that to help.
Hey, Coach. Brad Denny, 3TV, CBS 5. Added Hines Award. Looks like he added an associate head coach title over the course of the offseason. What have you seen from him to add that responsibility to him, and how do you see his growth as a coach in year 2?
Yeah, he's been awesome. You just look at Jordan Tyson, look at the wideouts and their progression. Malik McClain's had an unbelievable offseason. The reason we added the title was, what better person for our leaders to go to when you're trying to build consistency than a guy who was the model of consistency in an organization that built consistency. And he was one of the pillars as a player. A player can come to me all they want, and they can ask me leadership advice, but I'll never know the answers that Hines knows because he was in their exact same shoes as the player leader. I've never been a player leader. I've only been a coach leader, which are different roles. So I think giving him that title was really for me to say, guys, I don't care if you're a DB, I don't care if you're a D lineman, I don't care if you're a linebacker or O lineman. If you have a question about how to lead, if you have a question about how to create standards, how to be successful and continue that on a personal level, like you have a guy here who can help you. And sometimes people get scared if he's not your position coach. So I wanted to make sure that people knew, like, you need to go to him and utilize him for not just coaching the wide receivers, but for your own personal growth. We have an unbelievable resource here, unbelievable person and coach that's also done what a lot of you wanted to do, utilize it.
Hey, Coach. Ryan Myers, Devil's Digest. For you, speaking on the wide receiver room, having to kind of revamp around Jordan Tyson this year with a bunch of new guys coming in, what's the biggest thing in fall camp you're looking to achieve with the wide receiver group, and what do you want to see from them as a whole?
Consistency catching the ball and perimeter blocking. Like, toughness is from wideouts to corners, to D-line to O-line. I want to see guys whoop the person's butt in front of them. I want to see people block people into a cooler like Jordan did last year, like Anthony Miller used to do, like Jalen Strong used to do. And then I want to see guys catch the ball consistently. At the end of the day, football is about catching the ball. Like, if you play wideout, Get open all you want. If you can't catch it, it's irrelevant. Be fast all you want. If you can't catch it, it's irrelevant. So I want to see us catch the ball at a high rate and then block extremely physical and long.
And then with that being said, you brought in the 6'7" transfer, Akeem Lanu, who mostly spent his time at the junior college level this offseason. So what do you make of his game and like how he might be able to improve the room going forward as well?
Yeah, he was a guy that we felt like could add, a lot of versatility in the room. I don't know where he got the 6'7" thing. I'm sorry, man. He's not 6'7", but he is a very tall, lanky guy. Great kid. He's come in and worked his butt off, and I'm excited to add him to the room. He's been really good so far.
You think he's closer to 6'5", 6'6"?
Yeah, the first.
Coach Elliot Polikoff, Arizona's family. I know there's not really an off season in college football anymore, but did you get a chance to kind of take a deep breath this summer at all, or unplug? Did you even want to do that? I mean, was it hard for you to do that?
Yeah, was that a plug? To unplug right there? That was smooth. But I did get a chance to get away a little bit. It was good. I mean, got to hang out with the little guy. He's really into baseball right now. So we actually went over to Willie's camp. He hit balls out of the cage for a little bit, and we went up to Flagstaff a little. We went over to Big Bear. So we went to a couple places with the fam. So it was fun. The phone never turns off. Just the location you answer it changes, which is nice. But no, it was a good summer. I try to give the staff a good amount of time off before we go and get in this spaceship and get launched for 4 months. So yeah, we just got back again today. We had a 3-day weekend, so everybody's back, and it's day 0.
Chris?
Kenny, with how much you have returning up front defensively, what are the ways in which that could generate more negative plays, 3 and outs, sacks, things of that nature that help put you in a better situation offensively?
100%. I think our defensive ends in general. Our 4 guys, and then Coop's coming back. But I think between Elijah and Watt and Prince and Clayton alone, I think those guys alone have gained about 70 pounds just in that unit, which, you're talking 15 pounds on average apiece. And I think that's going to help us in pass rush scenarios. I think we're going to change some ways we create pass rush as well, which is obviously a positive. And I think this year we're going to be a different football team. I think we're a faster football team, so naturally we're going to have more explosive plays, or we should have more explosive plays on offense. Well, if you have more explosive plays on offense, well, you should be. Hopefully we don't, but you have the ability to blow more leads, and you have the ability to gain more leads. So I think when we gain those leads and we get into the pass rush scenarios, it can create more explosives on defensive line based off of our offense, and then. Adversely, if we're creating explosives on defense, usually offense feeds off that energy. When you get explosives on defense, that's contagious for an offense, just from a momentum standpoint. So I do think the depth in the D-line, the added size with those guys at defensive end, I think it's going to help our pass rush, which is going to create more negatives.
And do you think this team can play, that Brian Work can be more aggressive with some of his decisions and play calls?
I do. I think the word aggressive is interesting when you talk defense. See, when you think offense, aggressive is how far do you throw it and how many times do you throw it. When you think defense, is aggressive blitzing or is aggressive playing 2-man and telling those 4 guys, you've got to sack the quarterback and control the scramble. So I think the word aggressive correlates to blitzing on defense, if I think that's kind of okay. Maybe not. It may. I think that's going to depend on the matchups this year. I think this year we may not be that team that you see as much chaos. It may be calmer and saying, listen, we're going to get this dude matched up versus this dude. Block him. It may be simpler if we have a guy step up and we can move guys around to get a favorable matchup. So I think that's going to be game plan driven. Will always be, at some point, a pain to go versus on 3rd downs. Whether you like it or not, right, when you're an offense and, we do so much, we bring everybody within 8 yards in the line of scrimmage. And, yeah, does it cost us sometimes? Yes. But when you're an offense and you see a team do all of that on 3rd down, you worry so much about 3rd downs in the game plan that you kind of, well, they're simple on 1st downs. Let me just focus on 3rd down. And then you dominate, hopefully, early downs. And you get so many people in the 3rd downs that all you got to do is be 50% and you're going to be really good. So I do believe in chaos on third down but more just philosophically, because you have to prepare for the chaos. And preparing for the chaos, if we do it every week and you have to do it once a year or twice a year, you have to spend more time. That takes time away from base downs and, carries over. So I don't know if it's much personnel driven. The personnel side will be, can we get to the passer with 4? Can we get to the passer with 5? Can we get to the passer with, 3 and bring games and have a spy? I think you may see more of that based off of where I think our defensive line will be this year, based off, like you said, personnel. More aggressive, letting them go. The more you move, the less you let the D-line go, right? Because now they're stunning left and stunning right. It's not a one-on-one. So we may be more aggressive with letting our D-line go and say one-on-one.
Coach, right here. Hey, last year, success, all the success you had, it breeds expectations, right? And for the first time in a long time, there's expectations here. Last year with some of those home games, as the kids say, there was some aura out on that field, right? What do you want to tell the fans?
I mean, week 1, we play in AU. It's going to be hot. A lot of people who have tickets are going to be in Flagstaff. They're going to be at home on their couch. Regardless of where you are, understand we had a lot of kids who chose to come back, right, to play football at Arizona State, and they take a lot of pride in this place. Show the amount of pride they show. Show up. Like everybody says, are people going to show up week 1? Well, what separates, go look at any good football program and go look at week 1. Go look at it, and you're going to see sold-out crowds for 85% capacity. If we want to be a program that continues to build, then we, as the community, have to show that. Because at the end of the day, I've said this from day one, this is not a Kenny Dillingham. This is not one player, one coach. In order to win in college athletics, it takes a community. The current rules of college athletics, it's even going to be more important to have a community with the way NIL is changing and all that. So when I say it's important for people to show up and sell out and be loud from week 1 on, I absolutely mean that, because we're going to have people watching. Our players are going to run out of that tunnel, and they're going to say, man, it matters here, or man, it doesn't. And that's going to carry over for the next tradition of kids. Man, it matters here, or man, it doesn't. And our fans dictate that.
Coach, your receiving group has kind of been retooled a little bit with the exception of Tyson coming back. Can you talk a little bit about Jaron Hamilton, what he brings, and what you've seen out of him in the spring?
Yeah, he's gained, I think, 17 pounds since he got here. And he's gotten faster. He's second, depending on how you look at the speed, he's a high 22 guy, mid to high 22 guy. Right now is 207 pounds, 206 pounds. And he showed up here at 190, 191, somewhere in there. So whatever that weight is, I'm maybe off by a pound either way. But you see speed, and you see a kid who's gotten comfortable. I think a lot of times in college, I want guys to be themselves here. I think that's evident the moment you walk in here. It's a little uncomfortable to be yourself in a college football environment, because so many environments want you to be the environment, right? You're not yourself. You need to be us. And I couldn't disagree more. When you come to our football program, you need to be you, right? And you need to hit a set of standards however you do it. I don't care how you do it. Just be a good person, make good decisions, and have more fun working on everybody in the country. I don't care if you do that with a sideways hat. I don't care if you do that with an arm sleeve. I don't care if you do that with a grill. I don't care if you do that with earrings. I don't care if you do that in a wife beater. I don't care if you do that in a sweatshirt. I don't care what you do it in. Just be yourself and be a good person and make good decisions and have more fun working on everything in the country. So I think for him, I think he got comfortable here. Like, he's just comfortable. He's himself. And I think now you're seeing why he was so highly ranked. And he's got a lot to prove still. I'll tell him that to his face. He's got to go prove that his progress is going to show up on the field. He's going to become a better blocker and all the things that are necessary. But I'm really happy he's here, and I've loved the progression he's made, and I think he's really comfortable here.
To the player leadership stuff, Jordan Tyson told us that he's on the council now, and that makes a lot of sense with Hines taking that new position as well. How did the council shape up, and Who are the new guys? What made them stand out to you?
Not me. Our team votes. So our team votes, and that's who they voted for. I do not change the votes. I refuse to. I don't care if there's somebody that I don't think should be on it. I don't care if there's somebody not on it that I think should be on it. I don't change the votes. Never have in 3 years. Never will. I think it's helped some guys. I mean, you look at a Clayton Smith who showed up, who was voted on the council, and you look at where he is now. Is Clayton Smith 20 pounds heavier? Is he a mature human being, even though he still has snakes and is goofy and funny, right? But he's grown up a ton. Would he have grown up, gained 20 pounds, and been the Clayton Smith of today if his teammates didn't vote him on that, and if we didn't challenge him to become a better leader? I don't know. I really don't. But he is. So I'm really pleased with what the leadership council is and who they voted on this year. Though I think it's a reflection of our team.
Who are the new guys besides Tyson?
You're gonna put me on spot. We have a meeting at 5:30. Besides Tyson, Skrilla, I'll go O-line back. So Skrilla's new. You guys know Skrilla. Names, Josh Atkins. Sorry, call him Skrill. Big Skrill. Actually, even though he's lost a lot of weight, he's led cardio clubs, so he's like medium Skrill now. Not quite as big as he used to be. So you have Skrilla. You have JT, who's new. Sam was on it last year. D-line, CJ Fight was on it last year. You have Clayton, he was on it. You have Jordan Crook, who's on it this year now. You have Keith Abney, who's on it this year now. Ben Coleman, who's on it this year now. I think those are the new guys. I miss anybody? Safety, no. Corner, no. Linebacker, no. Keyshawn Elliott was on it last year. CJ and Clayton were on it last year. So those guys that I mentioned were on it. Montana was one of the young guys last year, so we haven't added those young guys yet to the council. Okay. So we'll add a few of the younger class to kind of learn how it works before they get voted on in their turn.
Anything else?
And what makes Ben Coleman so good as the guy that switched over to center, replacing such a good player like you?
Yeah, I mean, well, one, he's intelligent enough to do it, right? He's played tackle, he's played guard. Then he wants to do it. When you're transitioning to center, it's kind of annoying. You have to make calls. You have to hold the ball and snap, right? It's really an undervalued position because you're down a hand and you have to be really good at communicating. Obviously, you don't pull as much, and there's some advantages and stuff like that. But he knows that if he wants to make it on Sunday, the more versatility you have, the better. So that's a guy who started to tackle in college football, who's been a really, really, really high productive guard, and who's now going to start at center. I mean, what more of a Swiss Army knife could some team want to carry than a guy who's played and started at all three in the Power 5 level on winning football teams? So that was the why, and he's grown up. I mean, not grown up, but his demand and leadership, along with Skrill and that offensive line, I've been really, really pleased with, and I think they feed off of each other really well. So I've been really happy with both of those guys.